good. So I know it's kind of like, wow, stress is very difficult and you have lots of pathways in the body, and also you can't see it. Muscle contraction you can see. The stress you can feel, but you cannot understand. It's hard to understand what happened inside our body. Do you find it? Yeah, it's like the sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic. It's a lot of concept that actually you cannot touch and you cannot imagine in you. That's why drawing is very important, and I ask you to do that so you have some sort of like a bit like evidence that it's really existing. So well done you. You've done that. Even at the beginning you felt, I'm not sure if I have it, if I know it. So this group started with stress, yeah, and then the brain, inside the brain, what was it? It's inside the brain that is start the stress response really. What's inside the brain in here?
Hypothalamus.
Hypothalamus, yes. Now before that, there is that kind of recognition, you know, memory. And we need to compare eyes, what we see, hear what we hear. And then it goes to the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus is the one that says, signal, alarm, stress, prepare yourself for war, yeah? All these noises. Actually, it's in my mind, that's what happened. I'm not sure if it's your mind. But that's the alarm button, yeah? Then it sends an alarm button to the pituitary. Fantastic. So from the pituitary, what is the pituitary? How big it is?
It's tiny.
Teeny weeny, like a pea. Yeah, and it's inside the brain. It's kind of like, actually it's right below the brain, just below the brain, pea size, something like that, really small, but very important. And what the pituitary does?
Produces a hormone called
Produce
ACTH.
hormone. So if you want to impress your friends, you can say that it produces a hormone called adrenocorticotrophic hormone. And they will be, oh, okay, whatever you say, you know. So, but we have a short, how do we call it in short? ACTH. So one thing you really need to know, ACTH. And what it does...
That's what I was wondering, George, do we need to remember?
This one, yes.
Do we remember what it stands for? I mean, do we all kind of write ACTH?
No.
Yeah, okay.
So, where does it go?
To the kidney.
Adrenal.
To the adrenal. How does it go?
Nervous signal.
No,
Oh no, it's a hormone. Yeah, it's
By the
in the
bloodstream.
blood.
Yeah.
Bloodstream. It actually goes all over the body, but it affects only the
Kidneys.
the adrenal
adrenal
gland.
glands.
Yeah, near the kidneys.
Yeah.
And what does it do there?
Produces another.
Produce
Cortisol.
cortisol. So it's kind of like a messenger. Think about a hormone like a messenger. And the hormone produced from the pituitary, go all over the body. Where is this adrenal gland? Where's the adrenal gland? Oh, here you are. Hey, adrenal gland, start producing some cortisol. Why? Don't ask questions. We're stressed, time to kind of do things quickly, yeah? So it secretes cortisol, and what cortisol does?
It's
Releases everything.
It's a stress hormone, yeah? And
it stops the immune system.
stops the immune
Blocks the
system.
inflammation.
Stop the inflammation, yeah? So this is one thing, yeah? Now, coming back to the hypothalamus, it can also push the alarm to start the stimulation of the nerve system, part of the nerve system. Remember, stress and relaxation is always two. In the exam, they may ask you only the nerves or only the hormones, but it's always two, because it's so important that we don't want to miss it. So, which of the two nervous systems that responsible for stress or relaxation? Sympathetic. Great. And what it does here, do you remember what it does? The sympathetic nervous system?
Increase your blood pressure.
Increase your blood pressure. Actually, it's all the things that you experience when you're stressed. Sweating, heartbeat, alertness. All the things that you want to have in your body when you stress, because you need to be prepared for the worst, really. However, one thing the sympathetic nervous system does as well is go to the, it has a little nerve that go to the middle of the adrenal gland,
Medullary.
and it's to the medulla, and it secretes another hormone,
Adrenaline.
adrenaline. Now that's a confusion because the hormonal system come and secrete from the adrenal gland cortisol, which is another hormone, but the nervous system secrete another hormone. Go figure. That's confusing, isn't it? Yeah. Well, just to know that it is confusing. Now, you know what's the easiest way to remember what adrenaline does? Easiest one. It just does what the sympathetic nervous system does. So it's kind of enhance it. You see that the stress is so important, the body just want to be sure that you're gonna really get it. Yeah?
Are they released at the same time, or there is one that is released faster? Than
Oh,
the
this
other?
one or that one?
Yeah.
Okay, this is nerve, this is hormones. This goes by electric cable,
Okay.
this goes by blood. Which one is faster?
The nerve.
Fantastic. Yeah. So it's the method of delivery is different, yeah? Cool. Shall we go on to this one? So let's see if we kind of see. So we have the stress, we have the brain, hypothalamus, cerebrum, pituitary gland, ACTH comes into here and secrete cortisol. Cortisol, immune system stop, inflammation is stopped as well. Yeah, and then from the hypothalamus,
The
brain.
digestion.
Sorry.
We forgot the digestion as well.
Ah. Oh well, here it's actually here.
That's
It's in here. Yeah. So from the brain, stress, sympathetic nervous system. So increase heart rate, increase breathing, increase high blood pressure, sweating, standing of the rector pili muscles, etc. Okay, and it also go to the adrenal gland, into the inside of the adrenal gland and secrete adrenaline. And here you see wonderfully how this group saying, okay, what adrenaline does is actually again like what the sympathetic nervous system does. It's not 100% right, 95% right. Yeah? Cool. Any questions here? Wonderful. Good job, these two groups. Yeah? And I caught you on a surprise, huh? Let's go for the relaxation. Yeah? So this is the relaxation, all happy faces. You know, we need to, when something nice happens around us, like massage or something, we need to compare it to previous experiences, judge it, analyze it. If it's really relaxing, then we send signal to the hypothalamus. Yeah? The hypothalamus sends signal to the pituitary. Wonderful. And then what it does is it increase the ACTH or decrease it?
Decrease.
Wonderful. So they say no secreted. So it's like there is a little bit of it, but a lot less than when we stress. Yeah? So you still need to draw that and to say reduction, decrease, not much here. So if there is not much ACTH, there is not much cortisol, because ACTH secrete the cortisol, yeah? And if no cortisol, then the inflammation start working, healing the body. It's quite positive, you know? And then coming from the hypothalamus, the parasympathetic nervous system, so it is reduce the heartbeat, reduce blood pressure, all the 10 points, and goes to the adrenaline, noradrenaline. Guys, you did really well. I think you did really well. I was like, sometimes you get group, I'm not sure, I haven't done, but you know, you're holding it. That's really nice. So, any question, really ask. Any questions?
Is adrenaline, even when you're in this state, is it always produced or not at all?
When we're not stressed?
When you're not stressed.
Yes,
is
there
that-
would be always,
Yeah.
it's never on and off.
Right.
It's more or less. Always, always, always. So always, even if you're super relaxed, you will have a little bit of adrenaline.
Right.
Keep the engine work. Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same like muscle tone. It's never really completely gone. You always have a little bit of muscle tone. So you will always have a little bit of cortisol, and the question is how much. Yeah? If you can practice for the exam, doing things like that, that would be great, really. It's also help your memory to get it. If you do it writing, it's like lost, really.